Dr. Bigum, what is the purpose of the visit of the Danish delegation to North Macedonia?
Well, we're here to reach out and discuss how we can help Macedonia become member of the EU. The European Union, that is actually the only thing we have on the agenda, is how we can help support and facilitate this process.
Денеска се сретнавте со вашите колеги, пратеници од повеќе пратенички групи во собранието. Зашто разговаравте со нив и какви пораки си разменивте?
We've talked a lot about the need for constitutional change to open the negotiations with the EU and how this is a sensitive topic. We've heard, and I understand, and I also knew before we come, the deep frustration that this much too long process, the strain that it's taken on the Macedonian people. So we exchanged views on that. Well, we don't have a different view, but we heard that, and I completely understand.
Северна Македонија во моментов се соочува со внатрешен проблем кој што е поврзан со евроинтеграцијскиот процес на земјата. Кој е вашиот став во однос на ова прашање и сметате ли дека постои начин како да се реши ова криза, условно кажано, во нашата земја?
I mean, what I've heard here is that there's a general agreement that the future lies in EU. And that is also the position of our parliament. The topic of Macedonia becoming part of the European Union is high on our political agenda. I mean, it's something that we are actively talking and engaging with, and have been doing so for a long time. My party has a partnership with your Green Party, Dom, on this, on how we can facilitate. So I see a lot of course there are solutions and there is a future, and there is no doubt in my mind that this is the way forward. And in Denmark it's not at all an issue. And I've heard that, and that's also, I've heard that some people are doubting whether or not we actually want Macedonia to be part of the EU. I have never heard that doubt ever in the Danish parliament and in the discussions that we've had. The discussions that we're having is how can we ensure a smoother process? How can we facilitate supporting Macedonia in the necessary changes in open the negotiations and the institutional reforms that are the whole thing. So how are we are with this trip reaching out to say that we're here and that we're friends, and that we are looking very much forward to Macedonia becoming part of the EU, and that we're here to support you every step of the way.
As a member of the Danish Parliament, what is your view about the discussion about reforms in the European Union regarding to accession, regarding to the accession of the countries as in North Macedonia and countries from the North Balkans?
I mean, the things that we've been discussing in Denmark is the Copenhagen criteria, which is where we are, and that we are looking. I mean, that's what we're looking at, and then the issue of the constitutional changes necessary to open the negotiations. So that's really where we are now. We have not been discussing the need for institutional reforms in the EU or new loopholes or new things. So I mean, it's not on our agenda solely and unitely from the Parliament, which and the delegates on this trip, is how can we help Macedonia become part of the EU.
Која е вашата порака до македонскиот народ и воопшто до луѓето во оваа земја во однос на евроинтеграцијските процеси?
My clear message is that we want you. We do truly, utterly want you to become a member, to join us in the European Union, and that we are here to help every step of the way and to support, and we are doing the work also, that you are not alone. and also that we are hearing you, and we see the frustration, and I'm truly sad that you had to take so long, that it's been such a long process, and I agree and I understand the frustration. I would feel the same. And we are also committing even more to make sure that this goes smoothly, which is why we're here on an official visit to your country from our Danish parliament.
Во Данскиот парламент доаѓате како дел од Зелената Лева партија. На што е фокусирана главно вашата работа? На кои прашања најмногу доминираат во вашата работа?
I work a lot with the green transition, both in the EU, in Denmark, and also globally. So I'm an environmental engineer. I've worked a lot with waste and resources, and I see that the way that we are using earth resources is unsustainable. And my work is about how to come back to a sustainable path, and how to develop green business opportunities and new green jobs, and a new, more inclusive way of living, where we have more time to talk to each other rather than to just work all the time and spend money and use earth resources. So that's my political focus.
Како Данска се соочува со предизвиците, односно со проблемите кои што се наметнаа во Европа по војната во Украина и по кризата со COVID-19? Тука да споменам дека станува збор за енергетска криза, криза која што ја имаме со храната и така натаму, прашања кои што се поврзани исто така и кои што произлегуваат од овие проблеми во Европа.
We experienced, like I think every European, the issues of increasing energy prices, increasing food prices that significantly hurt, especially the people who don't have a lot of money. It's still an issue. We're looking forward to, well, not looking forward, what we're seeing in a winter. We've been preparing ourselves in a majority of way, but on the bigger lines, I mean, energy efficiency, make sure that the energy we use is the least amount of that we can, investing in green energy, and we see that, well, a big debate in Denmark on also the food prices is that we are changing and have been discussing on changing our diets to be more plant-based, which is also, you're seeing that change in society as well, which is also good for the environment, but also good for your health. Speaking as a butcher's daughter, I really like meat, but I also like vegetables.
Okay. Колку жени парламентарки има во Данскиот парламент и дали сте задоволни, условно кажано, со бројот на жените во парламентот, или сметате дека овој број и понатаму треба да расте?
I'm very proud. I was elected last year, and this was the first time in Danish history that elected women officials constituted more than 40%. So we said that this was the first election in Denmark where we actually effectively crushed the glass ceiling. I'm very proud of that. We also still have work to do on equality in Denmark. In politics, I think that we are in. It's good when we are equally represented. We all represent people, different experiences, views. So we need a lot of representation, and I see very good female colleagues that I can work with, and it gives me hope. And I mean, we are experiencing a larger degree of hate speech, actually, when we are vocal in politics, in the news, on social media, that our agenda is something that is a red flag to someone. And it is really a problem also in Denmark that just the general tone, the way that you're being valued differently than men, that your qualities are being questioned, and the way that your gender is used against you in these debates. And I fear that, I mean, it makes women don't want to be engaging in politics because it's hard. It is hard when you say something on social media or in the news, and then you reach this flood of hate. It's unworthy of a democracy.
MP and Dr. Bigum, thank you very much for this interview. I hope that you will enjoy in our country.
Thank you so much, and I hope that you will join us in the European Union very soon.